welcome to the second week of the longest year in history. This is the Noscript Show. How are you doing, Wotan?
I am currently sweaty Praetorian Wotan, given the high felt
Ew.
temperature.
That is quite distressing. All right, so we have a couple of announcements to make, and I think I'm going to let you lead in with the big news. Go for it.
Well, I've always wanted to be a SoundCloud rapper and put little fruity loops in my hair, but I failed at that mostly because I can do basic math. So
Oh shit!
I am now a SoundCloud podcaster. That's right. The show is now on SoundCloud. And for those of you who have some sort of beef against the Google botnet, it's also available on Spotify and eventually at some point, probably Apple as well, iTunes.
Oh, we are officially Spotify famous, dude. We've made it.
Don't touch me. I'm famous, you plebs.
Do you even podcast, bro?
Now you need to keep me away from mildly self-destructive women so that I don't develop some sort of destructive relationship.
It's like if you want to use the Charlie Sheen method of building a personal brand, you got to have a couple years under your belt first. Otherwise, it just flames out. So you kind of have to plan that shit.
I'm not quite famous enough to go full Logan Paul. So
God. But yeah, that's it. Noscript Show as of 2019 is syndicated to Spotify, SoundCloud, and iTunes will be arriving any day now. And all the links and everything is up on the Noscript Show Twitter account, and it's all searchable. So if you just go to that podcast app and plug in Noscript Show, you should find us. It is with sincere and deep regret that I say that I can't get the podcast onto Google Play because podcasts aren't in South Africa yet, and they might not ever be. So I am truly troubled for you that you can't use.
I'm withholding all my rage and pain. To push it deep down to that place that we push all the bad memories down.
Exactly.
To,
and the podcast will continue to go out on YouTube. So this is a bit of a format experiment. If you're watching it on YouTube, you're just seeing a lovely on-air message. Because obviously our faces don't translate very well over an audio feed. But we will continue to upload the show here for people that are subscribed. Okay, I'm pretty hyped. I mean, I've been researching podcasting for ages. I've kind of always wanted to do something like quote unquote legit where it actually goes to like a podcasting platform. And now that's happening. So, goddamn.
Plus we got the whole like ebony and ivory dynamic going on. We're like Danny Glover and Mel Gibson, except, you're not like anti-Semitic or homophobic.
I have exactly no opinions on the Jews whatsoever. So, dude, it's like I thought about that. It's like if we wanted to be complete wankers, we could be like, this is a multiracial podcast or some shit. And I'm just like, no, I feel offended just thinking that. But you're right.
Let the social justice flow through you.
Oh fuck, dude!
Embrace the offendedness.
It's been a week. It's been the longest. It's been a long week, and it's only been 7 days, dude. How?
Well, I won 2 of my 3 competitive Overwatch games this week, so
Awesome. Good job.
So my application to being a Korean citizen is going well. I just need to up my StarCraft to Diamond League and I'm golden.
Oh, dude, I haven't played StarCraft since they nerfed the Void Rays so fucking badly, dude. Like, it killed
I can feel the pain in your voice when you say that.
Because it was the best strategy. Like, I mean, all you had to do was, like, you could force fire on your own shit to charge them up and then just send them off and they would barrel through anything and everything. And then it's like, after 3 updates, like, they're basically useless. Like, the sadness, dude. I haven't actually played StarCraft 2 in a while. I've still got it, but it's just like it's sitting in my... Actually, it's in my cupboard. I've got the collector's edition I actually bought. I got it from like 60% off on Take-A-Lot, like the last 2 units in stock. I actually got one of those collector's edition boxes, which I opened, looked at all the shit once, cool, closed it up again, haven't touched it since. I'm a bad collector. I really am.
Well, the only 2 collector's edition games I ever bought were Breath of the Wild and Halo 3 collector's edition. Those 2.
Those are good choices.
Yeah.
I would think. Oh shit. Okay, so I've I will acknowledge this first and then move on to everything else. The ANC manifesto launch is happening right now, and I'm heavily engaged in this. But I've debated and decided that I absolutely don't want to bring that shit into this episode, so we're not going to do that unless if you have anything you want to say.
No, not really. But I mean, I guess they're always welcome to follow you on Twitter to check out the.
Yep, it's hashtag ANC Manifesto Decoded. I just put together a moment of like decoding what they actually said, and it's like reading Animal Farm but in real life. It's weird.
Yeah.
That's literally everything I'm going to say about politics.
I've seen some of the decoded tweets. They're actually pretty funny.
And
You guys
also
should check them out.
and also true. Like I'd hope, like just guys. I mean, we've seen this now, so. There's another profound disaster which might have positive implications in gaming, which is that Bungie split from Activision and took Destiny with them. Like, what the fuck? Do you know anything about this? I just saw the headlines.
I actually, it's funny you mentioned this because Conscious Caracal actually told me about it an hour before the podcast. I was like, oh, really? Huh.
Yeah, it's fresh news, but like the gist I get is that they just fed up. They obviously want to take Destiny in a different direction, and so they're split. And I'm just like, whoa, this is like Call of Duty levels of drama when, you know, so...
Who will the frat boys side with?
Oh, my level of give a fuck for frat boys is like all the way down below.
Technically, I am a frat boy. So...
Yeah, exactly, but that's the part about you that I care about the least. So, you see?
Well, I mean, hurtful, but not untrue, so... Hurtful, but not untrue.
Well... I have nothing to relate to, right? Because I've never actually been to university. That whole world is like movies. Like it's just external.
Ray's life in university is pretty cool when you're on hardcore, pounding beers and pounding sloots, pounding hoes. At this point, I don't know where I was going with this. I had a joke for this. And, yeah.
Yeah, so... two notes on the podcast syndication. Every episode will be marked explicit for obvious reasons. And also, even though I did technically tag some of them as comedy, clearly we're not good at that. So, I'm sorry.
Or for anyone listening, yes, that was very much a joke. No, like my university experience did not consist of pounding beers and pounding women of loose sexual morals. You know.
Right, yeah, it's just for any universities in future that come across this dumb podcast.
Please, God, please don't take away my application because of this.
Dude, I don't know, like some of the stories I've read of US universities, that might actually improve your chances of getting in. So
true story, fam. That's how I'm going to apply to the frat in the US. Like, how many beers can you pound?
Yeah.
And how many panties have you raided? Like, Mm-hmm. And I see here you're a team player. I like that. Jumped on the grenade 5 times. Wow, that's excellent team playing. Welcome aboard, sir.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course, there's always the man, the myth, and then the legend, and they're 3 different things. So definitely go for the legend, dude. You are legendary Wotan of whatever your friend was. Like I said, I have no frame of reference. I was like a B- average student who then went straight to work for 10 years. Like that's my entire story.
At this point, I'm starting to think that was a smarter move between the two of us.
True story. 2007, I did the last great Christian thing I've ever done in my life. And then at that point, there was a guy that I met who wanted to also get into web development, but he went on a 3-year course at university to build up those skills. I went straight to work for a company. And 3 years later, he wasn't doing web dev anymore. And I've since built a career in that. And it's really crystallized my opinion that you absolutely should fucking not go to university the year after high school, because I don't think you even fully know what you want to do yet. And to force kids to make that decision that early, there's something wrong with that shit, dude. Yeah, this has been on my mind with matric results and all that crap.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a redesign. There's definitely a need for redesign in how we view the educational system.
Yes, yeah, I'm a huge fan of Sir Ken Robinson's Finding Your Element. If you haven't heard about it or read it or listened to it, just look that shit up. Ken Robinson is that's his like crusade. Is reforming education because this current system doesn't work. I would really recommend that. It's a good read, for sure.
The current system doesn't work. It's really flawed. And I can speak, I mean, I'm not going to name names or institutional things, but I can speak from personal experience, being involved in universities and being involved in research and all that, that on top of the system not working, it's also in the research environment in universities is incredibly flawed. It is.
You see, now,
Yeah.
I think this is interesting, right? So, like, statistically, like, most South Africans don't go to university. Like, more don't go than do go. And I actually, like, it's an interesting point because there's the similar thing in science where people tend to assume that everyone has their shit sorted and it's all well ordered and maintained and everything makes sense, but it usually doesn't. And so it's interesting to actually learn more about what it's actually like in these environments, because it's not always put together.
It's a big eye opener. Like when I started, it was a major eye opener. I had a very different idea as to what it's like.
Were you picturing like lab coats and beakers and evil laughs? Because that's what I would picture.
That's either that or like the supermodel hot research assistants, and like underneath the lab coat is this lingerie. It's like, oh.
So you see, the thing is, you obviously had a very specific thing you wanted to get out of this research kick, and then you.
We're into the research.
All I'm gonna say is I'm damn near certain that's a category on Pornhub. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And again, although there are actually some really hot girls in research, but I'm not going to incriminate myself. But yeah.
It's just it's hectic. Like the last couple of years, all these like academic scandals that have happened, and it's like, like replication studies that weren't done correctly, and scientists who straight up faked their results. And my favorite, and you can Google this, a study proved that parachutes don't increase your odds of survival when you jump out of a plane.
How did it prove that?
Because the plane's on the ground. And they bury that fact like 10 pages deep in the abstract. But they literally, you can look this up, it's on Big Think, just parachute study.
What? The plane is on the ground?
Right. So the abstract said something to the effect of having a parachute doesn't increase your odds of survival jumping out of a plane because everyone survives. And then 3 pages into the abstract, when they explain how the experiment was set up, there they include the fact that the plane never left the ground and they were just jumping out of the door to the ground. And the point that it makes is the headlines, you don't trust the headlines. Like, it's possible to design studies in a way that kind of give you the results you want. And they prove that by doing this. And it's like, you know what? This happens a lot more often than you think.
Well, that's kind of what I meant with my tweet earlier this week, where I said, putting the hours into STEM research is easy. The hard part is to design a good experiment and not to be quick to interpret results that support what you want to be true. That's the real hard part.
It's called p-hacking, I think, is the term.
But you know what? Actually, most people don't actually understand p-values. I don't understand p-values completely. I'm going to be honest and say that.
So I don't understand. It's just I don't understand them fully either. But the principle is quite simple. It's something is either statistically significant or it's not.
Yes.
And p-hacking is basically you just deliberately start excluding outliers to get the value that you want to prove that, this phenomenon is occurring when it's clearly not. Then there's another interesting concept, the weird studies, WEIRD. I don't know if that's been a thing.
WEIRD.
It's like it's a problem, and this is my favorite problem, and this ties into all the social justice stuff, especially around like gender and sexuality and all the rest. Is that a large amount of studies coming out of the US are weird, WEIRD, Western educated, intelligent, in college, that sort of thing. Like there's this natural selection bias where all the studies that use college kids as subjects tend to all be like so narrowly defined that it could potentially skew the results. And it's only like recently that's like, by the way, guys, not everyone in the world has the exact same experience as an American college student. You can't use that as your baseline. And then draw these enormous conclusions. So anyway, like this shit's been on my mind a lot lately. Sorry, I don't mean to ramble.
No. I assume that's why we're here. That and to finally get me a whiskey sponsorship one day.
Yes. You could just start a whiskey review channel.
I could, like my hero of the week, Whiskey Bra.
Oh, dude.
But we'll get into that soon enough.
Yep. So we should also mention, because this is all unplanned, what we're also going to try doing. So we're doing this podcast and it's audio only. So obviously we can't show you anything. But we love our memes. We need our memes. So we're going to try doing a second sort of series where we do a weekly meme review and then we just get straight into the memes. And we've had some good ones the last couple of days. 2019 has not been disappointing in the meme department.
Oh, no. Not at all. No, the memes are what keep me from ending it all, to be honest.
All right, you need more caffeine in your life.
I could pull the trigger, but who knows what spicy memes would come up next week.
Yeah, you can't miss the spicy memes, man. Dude, so yeah, I don't know. It's just I did make a list of all the shit that happened in the last week, and it's like looking at this list is exhausting to even think about it.
Okay. Well, we could attempt to talk some tech.
We could, but that's all just depressing as well, because I've been reading up on Russia's hypersonic nuclear missiles, and I'm like, yep, no, we're fucked again.
What? I've been playing Fallout for years, bruh. I'm ready for this shit.
Do it. Do you have your bunker and your bottle caps?
Yeah.
Are you sorted for this shit?
Yeah, I'm good, bruh. Like, I'm ready for this. Like, I cannot wait. Cannot wait.
Is that still a thing? Like this fascination with the world ending? Just like apocalypse movies, zombie games?
Well, I think we've discussed this at some point, or I've discussed it with quite a few friends, and my stance on that is the fascination with the world ending in some apocalypse, zombies, nuclear, whatever, is rooted in this deep-seated fantasy that your average office lemming or average middle-class worker has of just wiping the slate clean and starting all over, because essentially you do start all over in such a situation, and you can be anyone you want. You can be just about anyone you want, and that's at the root of what actually appeals to us, because everyone's gone. You can be this new hero in this exciting new world with new rules and all that shit.
It's almost like the Fight Club school of philosophy, where it's like, we were all lied to, and life isn't what we were told it was going to be, and so like there's this whole generation of people that would like to end it all. That actually kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
I always saw it as like the ultimate hero fantasy, right? Like the world's gone to shit, but somehow you're like the one person who has their shit together, and you're out there like rescuing people, building a community, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sorry guys, that was just a booty call, I think. Or
actually no, it's a DA cold call.
Oh, for fuck's sake! I'm fucking over the DA. Christ.
Like, honestly, okay, you can't see this, but Truecaller.
Jesus, it says DA Musimamane on his phone. Truecaller, right? Does Truecaller pick that up?
Yeah.
For fuck's sakes. Okay, guys, listen. Stop with the unsolicited communication. I will vote EFF just to spite you fuckers. I am done with the spam. Jesus. I'm so fucking done. I complete, like 100% fucking just over. I'm still, like, my email address ended up in a list somewhere. And there's now somebody who runs a Gmail account, it's not even like a proper email system, that BCCs me on their activism outreach emails. So there's no unsubscribe button. And I'm like, this is fucking illegal. You can't just do this shit. And it's so frustrating. And it's like, you know what? Between this and the water crisis, I'm fucking done with you guys. So anyway, yeah. Unscripted, uncut, there's a spam robocall from my money. What the fuck?
Like, Musi, come on, bro. You got bigger issues on your plate.
Yeah.
Go home to Natalie and the kids. Like, seriously, bro. You got bigger issues.
Sorry, what were we talking about? The zombie apocalypse, right?
Yes.
Are we any closer to like the chemical basis for that though? Like I kind of feel like between CRISPR and unregulated chemistry, we're going to end up with like a
the
T-virus.
Thing is, there's a lot of biological principles that still say it can't happen. So I'm not particularly.
Well, but I mean, it's like it's not like you need like the whole sort of. Okay, first we've got to clarify which type of zombies, right? Because you got like Resident Evil zombies where you've got like the weird ass mutations, and then you've got like the Day
The
of
rabies, the super fast rabies, 28 days later type zombies are the ones that
Right,
scare me. The shuffling ones, it's like, I actually saw like it was some YouTube show. Like there was like a dude did a whole military social analysis on how
Yeah.
the slow shuffling zombies, they wouldn't take over the world. The rabies ones might take us out, but the slow shuffling zombies, they might take out a town or two, but it's really unlikely that they would overrun us. At this point, our civilization would very quickly, get its shit together and contain that.
There's a classic movie. I'm trying to remember the name now. It's one of the movies in the Cornetto trilogy with Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. Those two did a bunch of movies together. There was Hot Fuzz, and there was another one.
Shaun of the Dead.
Yes, Shaun of the Dead. If you haven't seen it, I recommend it. Have you seen it?
I have that and Hot Fuzz, and they're both absolutely brilliant.
Hot Fuzz is fucking perfect. Like that whole thing is just. Actually, I'm going to watch it again. I'm going to find a copy and watch it. It's.
I just love the whole plan in Shaun of the Dead. It's like the Winchester, get to the Winchester.
Hey, wait for the soul to blow over. But it's like.
It's so British. It's so painfully British.
The thing is, so I watched that movie like years and years ago, pretty much when it launched. And then in the time since then, I've actually traveled to London and I spent time with English people. And that is absolutely what they would do. Like, it's not a put on. Like, things go really bad. No, go to the pub.
The pub, wait for it to blow.
But there was just like a small detail. There was the apocalypse and it was all horrible, and then like at the end of the movie, it's like, oh, we've got it under control, everyone, and the zombies are like pushing shopping carts around and shit. And there's a celebrity thing, Zombaid, and like these, and I'm like, fuck, that's exactly what would happen in the real world. We'll have zombie rights activists.
Yeah.
But okay, so the shuffler is no big danger, but the rabies, the jumpers,
those ones might be a real fucking danger.
But do you think I don't spend a lot of time thinking about the fall of civilization. I did once, and it's like, do you think we'd actually hack it, like in a post-apocalyptic scenario?
Depends on the type of post-apocalyptic scenario, I think. Because I think some apocalyptic scenarios are far easier to survive than others.
True. But like South Africa, for instance, we only have like one nuclear reactor, which is going to explode anyway because all the people that maintain it don't know what they're doing, just in case you needed a reason not to sleep at night.
Well, no, it's going to explode in Cape Town, not...
Exactly. So it's like, it's Kuba.
You're screwed. I'm fine.
It's like we'll have radioactive wine exports and that'll be it. But most of South Africa...
No, there's also Pelindaba nuclear reactor.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, in the northwest. It's actually close to where my mom lives, so yeah.
Okay, so you have a vested interest in there not being a nuclear accident.
Yeah.
I just like the thought of there being like an utterly incompetent technician who doesn't know what the gauges mean, and then just like it's the sort of thing that might happen, and it bothers me, but also it's entertaining. Like there's I watch a lot of stand-up comedy. There's Jen Kirkman on Netflix. I love her work. She's very nihilistic. I think that's why I like it. And she reckons that, we're just going to become so stupid we'll start spontaneously dying. And I'm like, you know what? I think we might actually pull that off. All right, so.
Yeah. So speaking of weird, spontaneous stuff. How about those Canadian radio signals from deep space?
Oh, yes. So what's the deal there?
That might be the only tech thing I have to discuss this week.
There's tech things.
They picked up fast radio bursts from a deep space sector, basically. And okay, so let me high level this real quick. What we search for in the search for extraterrestrial life is things like fast radio bursts, which is radio bursts that are in a specific sequence. Mm-hmm. Because otherwise, because that sets it apart from the general fucking clutter in the universe. But the thing is, there's a lot of natural phenomena that can cause those radio bursts, like pulsars, which we originally thought were alien signals back in like the 70s is sort of very, very dense stars, neutron stars spinning very quickly, and that puts out radio waves that sort of sounds like a signal. But so far, these radio bursts look unnatural. We're trying to confirm whether they're natural, and if they are unnatural, then the standard procedure is to never assume it's aliens. Never assume it's aliens, because the thing about this actually leads to my actual topic, is what I wanted to discuss is the simulation hypothesis as one of the answers to the Fermi paradox. And for those of you who don't know what the Fermi paradox is,
so everybody just buckle in, tinfoil hats on, LSD at the ready, go.
Oh yeah, here we go. Okay, so the Fermi paradox is basically a question whereby we calculated the universe is so large and so old that at this point there should be a fucking buttload of alien civilizations just buzzing around everywhere, but we can't see anything. So basically the question of the Fermi paradox is, where are all the aliens?
Right.
And there's various answers to the Fermi paradox. I
would like to submit an answer that a good number of those aliens are Zuma supporters who legitimately believe that Rupert was killing them with the Polonies last year. But that's like 20, 25 at the most. Carry on.
Well played.
That's just going in the meme review. There's like a video someone took, which is just astonishing, but carry on.
Well, okay, one of the answers to the Fermi paradox, where are all the aliens, is a simulation hypothesis, which basically states that one of us in existence is a real mind, and the rest of us, either none of us are real minds, we're all simulated minds, or one of us is a simulated mind, or we're all real minds and the entire environment is simulated. Doesn't really matter.
Right.
The bottom line is the simulation hypothesis answers that's where it is, because we're in a simulation and the simulation doesn't include other species. That's the answer to the Fermi paradox. And it's a good answer to it's what I would classify as a good type of answer to the Fermi paradox, because the Fermi paradox has very good answers and very bad answers. Good answers are ones that have 100% coverage, or what they call exclusivity. And 100% coverage just means that this answer explains why every single member of that civilization would not be contactable. So it's a good answer because we're not contactable because we're in a simulation. A bad answer would be, say, the stay-at-home civilization, whereby there's very advanced civilization, but they just choose for whatever social reason to stay at home and not contact other people. But it's a bad answer because it doesn't account for 100. It only takes a very small percentage of the beings in that civilization to say, hey, we want to explore or go out for them to show up. So that's a bad answer. It doesn't account for everything.
So what's interesting about that answer, and so like ironically, and maybe this is kind of spooky quantum shit, but just this morning I was also discussing the simulation answer with a bunch of other people, because we're all kind of reaching the consensus that the last real year was 2012, and the world, I'm pretty sure the world ended, and everything since then has been a simulation, because it's progressively making less and less sense. Like there's no universe in there is no universe in the multiverse where the cast of The Apprentice runs the free world, right? Like you just have to objectively accept that is an insane outcome. Regardless of your politics, that is insane. But anyway, so the interesting thing about sorry?
Yeah, continue.
Yeah. So the interesting thing about the solution that we're all in a simulation is that it like in a very roundabout way, it describes there being a god, right? Because somebody would have to consciously decide to create and power the simulation for whatever nefarious purpose, meaning that technically there's a creature of immense power outside of our reality capable of affecting the things inside it. So I find that personally interesting.
But the other thing is people say we're all in a simulation, but the implication of the simulation hypothesis is that some of us may be simulated and some of us may be real and stuck in the simulation. None of us may be real. And so it's a big thing.
Oh my God. Wasn't there that study a while ago that found that a large number of people don't have internal voice, right?
Dialogue,
So internal
NPC,
dialogue,
and that's where the NPC meme came from.
That's like Conscious's favorite meme.
The other implication of the simulation hypothesis is that it's easy to it's also a really good answer to the Fermi paradox, because it's easy to say, even if you were a real mind and you consciously went into a simulation, the thing about a simulation of this caliber, let's say this is a simulation, is that you have a great deal of ability to compress or stretch out time. So you could have been in the simulation in real time, in your real time outside of the simulation for 1 minute, but it's been stretched out time so long that you are now going to live an entire lifetime in the simulation, so long and so real that you forget that you were in a simulation to start with. And then when you die, the simulation ends and you pop out into actual real space, and you have to adjust to the reality that only 1 minute has passed, but you lived an entire lifetime in the simulation. Sort of like Rick and Morty, the one episode where they go to Roy, and they go to Blips and Chips, and Morty's all fucked up because he lived a whole life, and he's like, what the hell?
The off-white versions. No, that is actually, and the thing is, like, the crazy thing about, like, the more you discuss the simulation hypothesis, the more you sort of realize that there are factors in the real world that would imply that it is possible. So, for example, dreams stretch time. A dream can feel like hours to you, but in real time, it's maybe a couple seconds to maybe a minute or two of REM state, which is when you're actually dreaming. So, yes, the information your brain processes doesn't have to run at the same rate as the information arriving from outside. So, of course, you can completely fiddled with time. I guess my question is, who would build a simulation that is so fucked up, though? I mean, it's not a good simulation.
Your guess is as good as mine. But I do know for sure that if this is a simulation, from a computer science perspective, to run a simulation like this, you would need inconceivable, well, to us, what is inconceivable amounts of computational ability and inconceivable amounts of energy at your disposal. It's incredible.
It's like, utterly inconceivable. But then AMD just announced a new graphics card with a 7 nanometer process, which is like twice as powerful or some shit as like the previous generation. And I think, like, you know, a black hole power source plus that kind of shit over like a million years, you could probably get to that. It's a topic that you can spend a lot of time on, and you really shouldn't, because the more you do, the more you start questioning.
There's a lot of other fun answers to the Fermi paradox, but maybe we'll discuss them at another point. But that the simulation hypothesis is actually one of my favorite ones, because it does tie into computer science and all that. So
I do like the idea, though, that Earth is essentially an amusement park / cautionary tale spun up by people thousands of years in the future that show us how not to live. Like that. I like that thought quite a lot. But also, and just like, here's a fun thing to consider, and this is just like pure statistics. In a universe where it is possible to simulate consciousness, statistically, you are more likely to be a simulated consciousness than not, because your real brain will live and die once, but a simulation can be spun up over and over again.
Exactly.
So if it is indeed possible, then the odds are not on your side that you are really you.
Real. Yeah.
Please don't do drugs and think about this. It'll really fuck you up.
The Noscript Show does not support
introspection of any seriousness.
Maybe you should say the no drugs and alcohol thing, because I'm the Charlie Sheen of the pair here.
I am completely in favor of drugs and alcohol. Just be responsible. Like...
that's probably the most libertarian thing you've said in a while.
Dude, it's hard. Like, the last couple months have tested my libertarian principles, but I'm sticking to them.
As am I. I'm loving it, though. Like, the government shutdown in America now, it's like...
govavailability.info. Somebody built a site showing the government uptime as a percentage, and it's like hilarious. Is it still on 0? Because, like, has the government started up yet?
You can check it now.
It has not. The site still shows 0% for this year. And then there's like this enormous, it's 96.63% right now, but it's to 9 digits. So like just every second it increments down slowly as the government's availability decreases.
Awesome. This is so great. I love it.
There's, and I think we might have some memes related to this. My favorite has been, somebody has the caption is something like, So the government is shut down enough not to pay the tax refunds, but open enough to still take tax money out of my paycheck or something like that. And then the picture is amazing. It's like the Declaration of Independence with a dude in an old school hat with an M4
Oh, yeah,
rifle.
yeah. Okay.
It's like loading my rifle with libertarian intent. And I'm like, God damn, dude, I feel you.
I actually, you know what? If I think it would be the biggest troll if Donald Trump just keeps the government shut down through his whole presidency.
And that, like,
It would be the biggest troll.
I'm honestly, like, I'm looking at this and going, this is great because every government in the world insists that the government needs to stay operational for things to work. And we're like a couple weeks in.
Otherwise.
It's like we're a couple weeks into it. Some shit has happened. My favorite unintended consequence, and I have to admit that I'm amazed this is even a thing. There's about 80 plus websites hosted by government agencies currently unavailable because the certificates expired and there's nobody to renew them. And I'm like,
Wow.
y'all know automated renewal is a thing, right? And I'm like, because on the one hand, it's like, okay, this is bad. People don't have access to information that they need because of this shutdown. But on the other hand, who was being overpaid to manually renew those certificates? Dude. Like,
whose tax dollars are going to overpay some
I'm like,
living to?
exactly. It's like, if you're a government procuring SSL certs, I'm convinced that whoever you bought them from has an API that you can renew them. No, dude, Let's Encrypt is free and you can renew it automatically. And they set that up by default. Like, I don't understand how this is a thing. But it is. And it's kind of hilarious and kind of sad. But this will be interesting. I mean, what was the longest shutdown in history? Do you know?
I'm not sure, actually. We can Google it. But the thing is, here's the really intriguing thing, right? To me, at least. Let's say this government shutdown continues for a while.
Yeah. Oh.
Whether you like the man or not, this would mean that not only did Donald Trump slash taxes, he pulled America out of 2 wars and he shut down the government, which would make him the most libertarian president in the last, 50 years.
Yep. Okay.
That's insane.
So I'd like to congratulate the United States. As of today, we're in the 22nd day of the shutdown. We have surpassed the 21-day shutdown of 95, and this is officially the longest shutdown.
Nice.
Setting records. Dude, 2019 is going to be lit AF.
Lit AF, fam, as the kids say.
All right, so I've been dreading this, but we brought it up on the last episode, and I finally just have to take the plunge and ask you, can you gently explain what TikTok is? Because I still haven't looked it up. I still don't know. I just know it's a thing.
Anyone who's been on YouTube lately has probably seen 50 million TikTok ads.
Oh, fuck, here we go.
TikTok is basically an application whereby it's sort of like a respawn or an offshoot of Vine, if I could put it that way.
Okay.
It's evolutionarily related to
Vine.
Vine. Yeah, so it's an app whereby you shoot videos, music videos, short music videos, and you lip sync to a song that it generates. And the app also lets you shoot in side-by-side mode. So it can you can take somebody's uploaded TikTok and side-by-side it with yours, and you can do all sorts of reactions to the other person on the other side of the screen and all sorts of shit. And that spawned quite a bit of memedom. But it gave us the beauty, the queen of the internet, that is known as Nyan Nyan cosplay. She's the girl from the hit or miss meme that we discussed earlier. She is beautiful. She is a piece of heaven descended onto earth, and I will do anything to protect her beautiful smile. I will murder for this girl. I will murder anyone for her.
So,
she need only ask.
So also I can independently confirm.
She's over 18. Just for the record.
So I can also independently confirm that you have WhatsApped me, I'm pretty sure, her picture and said that you would kill for her. Was that her?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I know you. I believe that you're saying what you mean. Okay, that sounds really fucking stupid, but also I can see why it would be popular. And it's like these things come in waves, because Vine was killer, and it was also like dumb at the time, and I'm sure...
Vine also made a lot of people famous who should have never been famous.
Although, eternal props to LA Turtle on YouTube. LA Turtle is basically this guy that he does these skits, and the most famous one is where he's shooting 3 versions of himself, breaking like really bad news to the sun, that he's dying. I don't know if you've... dude, you know what? This is also going in the meme review, but LA Turtle, he got into Vine like really well, and he does these amazing little skits, and the one about dying is the famous one.
Nothing like impending parental mortality to get the chuckles up.
You know what? So what I can actually do, and I'm gonna try this because we're experimenting. I know that I can play an audio clip and it'll actually come through the podcast. So I'm just gonna actually run that video for a few seconds. I'll send you the link so you can check it out.
Roger.
Okay.
What do you want, bitch?
How dare you?
Yeah, I said it.
How dare you?
Yeah, I said it.
How dare you?
I don't even care. And he
Wow.
agrees with me. Oh, yeah, what do you want, bitch?
Oh, I know who this LA Turtle
You
is.
are.
I'm the man of the house. Yeah, and I'm the boy of the house.
Will you shut the fuck up?
Yeah, okay, Dad.
What has gotten into this family?
So that's the start of a 4-minute clip, which is just, it is like storytelling on steroids. It has twists, it has character development, it has like eternal lines, like your moves are weak, like that just fucking kills me to this day. So anyway, LA Turtle, he came from Vine. He is the only reason I think it was a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Unpopular opinion, I think that it's a good thing the Paul brothers got popular from Vine. Because then what would we have without them?
The Paul brothers being...
Jake Paul and Logan Paul.
Right. Are we talking Japanese corpse variety? Because
Yeah.
that's gonna...
Well, wait. I think it's Logan Paul now who is going to go gay for a month. He announced he's going to go gay for a month.
Okay.
That's the thing. That's because apparently now it's just a switch that you flip like.
Okay. I'm...
No, it's a switch now that you just flip.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's like an energy drink. You decide to change brands, and then you're... No.
Can you imagine that? Like, it's just a straight-o monster. Monster straight, monster gay.
Dude, there is, I think, a tangible correlation between hormone levels and what actually turns you on. And I'm absolutely fucking convinced there's a way to switch your preferences by changing the chemical composition of your brain. I'm like damn near convinced we can do this. So it would not fucking surprise me if that happens.
Okay, theoretical situation. Let's debate this. Theoretical situation.
Yes.
You can. We now know perfectly how to switch your preferences, right?
Right.
You just like that. It's not even like a outpatient thing. It's like a fucking pill you get from the pharmacy.
Right.
Let's say. Then what?
Then nothing changes. Like
Society-wise, then what? What do we do? What does our society do?
Then nothing. I mean, like if we're gonna pretend like people have been straight for thousands of years and just recently figured out that men also have butts, no, dude, come on. Society has had this shit figured out for centuries. I don't think that much would change. There would be a huge amount of noise about it, and it'd be like, oh my god, like you know what? Conservative Christians would paint this as another sign of like the coming apocalypse that never seems to happen. But beyond that, it's like, okay, it boils down to a mood enhancer, you know, just one that temporarily changes what you're attracted to, which is also not a weird thing because people's preferences do change over time.
I would pop that pill at a party. Honestly, I would. Like if the party has one or another composition, like if it's highly guys, for example, I just pop that pill. Like, okay, cool, I'm into dudes now.
But then just for like 48 hours, then when it flushes out of your system, you're back to normal. And it's like the libertarian in me is like, that's not even really an issue. But okay, you know. But anyway, there was something else I was going to say, and then you derailed me, which is probably a good thing because it was going to be something stupid.
Or was it?
Oh, it was, okay, the going gay for a month thing. I have spent a lot of time just trying to figure people out, and my grip on why people do what they do has gotten better over time, I think. So it doesn't surprise me that people still do stupid fucking stunts like this. I mean, for fame or for popularity or whatever. It's just perpetually disappointing that they don't learn. So interestingly enough, there was actually we're going straight into social justice and men's rights here because fuck it. There was an interesting.
Because the tech part is gone. It's dead and gone.
Oh no, there's more tech later because we don't plan this shit at all.
Is the tech Bezos divorce?
We have to talk about that. But the point was just that there's two bits of media which I think are pretty influential and are slowly gaining traction. And the first one was the Red Pill movie with what's her name? Something Cassie
J.
There we go, Cassie J.
Low key, she's kind of hot though. Not even gonna lie. Not even gonna lie. I would.
Also, low-key, she is like one of the most open-minded feminists I've seen in my life. I mean, the best part about the Red Pill wasn't the Red Pill. It was the journal she kept where her opinion started being changed as she went through the production. She went into it thinking, oh, they're just a bunch of losers. And then as she interviewed the guy, she's like, you know what? They actually have a point. And I'm like, you see that so rarely nowadays. Fucking props forever to actually honestly
for me, one of the striking moments was it was some protest somewhere in Canada where like the feminists like shut it down, but it was basically like a thing on men's mental health that they were having a talk about, and the feminists are like, no, you have enough male privilege, you don't deserve a talk on mental health. And the one dude that they interviewed, he's like, you know, and they asked him, why did you come here? And he said, my best friend committed suicide a week ago and I just wanted to understand why. And that fucking hit me in the feels, dude.
Yes.
Like I was like, because you could see the pain in this man's eyes. Like, my best friend committed suicide a week ago. I just wanted to understand why.
Yeah. And that's definitely powerful shit. I mean, now the other name and the other publication is Self-Made Man by Nora Vincent. And this is from 10, 15 years ago. And the whole thing is basically that she went undercover as a man for 18 months. She dressed, acted, changed her appearance, changed her voice, and actually lived as a man, did everything that men do. And by the end of it, she had gained an enormous amount of respect for the difficulties that men have. And it's like, again, like feminists will pretend this doesn't exist, right? By feminists, I mean the radical hardcore idiots. I don't mean the people that actually want equality. Because what do words even mean anymore? When, you know, that just also really upsets me.
Because I think it's I mean, I would think it's fairly obvious, but when we're talking about feminists, we're talking about a specific subset. There's definitely, obviously, patriarchy exists in like fucking West Africa, where your father sells you off at 12 years old to be married and be made a child bride. I mean, a couple of years back, I was actually dating a girl who is a human rights lawyer, and actually date quality women from time to time. And she was, you know, that's what she did. She went in and she went in to sort of fight for. That's the kind of feminism I can get behind, where you're getting sold off at 12 as a child bride. So the context of me mentioning it, that was for everyone listening. Obviously, we don't hate all feminism. It's just a very problematic, for lack of a better word, subset of it.
So just again, I'm segueing here, but I got into a conversation that I will not name I'll not name the context or the content or the subject to protect everyone involved. But I learned a very interesting point by one of like these people, quote unquote. And by these people, I mean people that love to complain, love to make noise, but never actually do anything productive. And they basically said that they thought complaining was fun. And I thought about that for quite a while. And it's like, I think, you know, there are injustices in the world and you should definitely stand up for your rights. And there's a big difference between complaining about an injustice and just complaining because you had a bad day and you want to vent your psychic bullshit onto somebody else. There's a big difference between the two. And I am all for the kind of complaints that involve changing the system for the benefit of everyone. That makes more sense to me. But if you're just going to bitch and whine on social media, that's not activism. That's just you being a dick. And
That's slacktivism.
and exactly, it's like, and the thing is, eventually it's like, you know what? And I say this now because this might actually be a realization for the first time for some of you. If the process of venting your psychic garbage is pleasurable, if you enjoy doing that, you're toxic and you need help. That is not a good place to be, where you enjoy making other people miserable. And you can couch it in like, oh, it's activism, or oh, but other people did it first. No, like all of that might be true, but also it is not mentally healthy to constantly be in a state where the slightest thing upsets you and you make it everyone else's problem. That's not morally righteous. That's just toxic. So get help, please.
Well done, my friend. Well ranted. Well ranted.
It's been on my mind for a while, and it's just like, because
I'm gonna give you the verbal smackdown of the week award. That you really.
Yeah, I'm sure someone will clip that out and use it as an example of why I'm misogynistic or some shit, but that's fine. But it's just it's that. So it's like, as much as I support the right to complain, there's a difference. There really is. So anyway, just coming back to this girl who lived as a man for 18 months. This is how much of a gangster she is. Her 18-month stint actually gave her depression, right? Like, going through this process gave her full-blown depression. So she voluntarily checked herself into a mental institution and then talked her way out.
Wow. I really want to date this girl for some reason now. What's her name?
Her name is Nora Vincent. So the books are Self-Made Man and then Voluntary Madness. So basically, her psychologist recommended that she commit herself to a mental institution. And apparently she bounced around a bunch of them and actually also then saw the injustice being committed there, because doctors, tend to be like arrogant, or they misread diagnoses or whatever. There's a huge lack of empathy. But I love the concept, because she walked out of there, and I just love the concept that this woman was able to check into a mental hospital.
Holy shit! I can see pictures of her now, like trying to dress up as a man. That's a pretty convincing thing.
Oh yeah, no, she joined a bowling club, a therapy group. She went to strip clubs. She dated women as a woman.
I'm still trying to figure out how the brass tacks of that worked, but okay. Cool.
I don't know. All I know is that this woman deserves our recognition and respect for the shit she put herself through. Okay, so anyway, that's
Voluntary Madness. Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, so anyway, like, again, moving one branch back up the conversation tree to the Logan Paul month of gayness thing. The thing that mostly upsets me is that people do this
Gayness month. Yeah.
Gay month. It's like, what's it like? Is there
That's bullshit. He cannot do that. Next month is Black History Month. How dare he encroach on Black History Month?
Oh, is it
How
next month?
dare he?
Is it like?
Yes. I have like 500 dashikis ready for Black History Month. How dare he encroach that shit? For the record, I'll be recording every week's episode in a full dashiki during Black History Month.
We'll tweet out the screen caps of the internal call as proof that you did in fact do that.
I actually, to take it seriously, I may actually do 1 or 2 episodes in my actual Setswana traditional dress.
Yes.
Just for kicks.
And I will wear the traditional clothing of my people, being a cartoon shirt imported from the US. I have a long, proud 5-year tradition.
It's, by the way, the Setswana traditional dress is called haka, which roughly translates to guinea fowl. It's spelled Kgaka. It's usually blues and whites, and it's got little spots on it, which sort of looks like the guinea fowl little spots, hence the name. And depending on what tribe you come from, you have a specific pattern that's actually associated to your tribe.
So like the whole concept of the Scottish tartans, where it's like the colours and stripes. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How do you
And
spell that?
my tribe, being Khabo tribe, Khabo Bakhatla tribe, we have a specific tartan, as you would say. So I think I will actually wear that on maybe a meme review or something, just for during Black History.
Well, how do you spell that again? The
Kgaka. and then traditional dress. If you just Google that, it'll probably come up with pictures of guinea fowl because that's what it actually means. But if you add traditional dress,
It actually does come up with that.
But if you add traditional attire
Right.
afterwards, you'll see the various dresses and
There's a bunch of surprisingly modern variants.
yeah. I mean, look, the cut is not important; it's the pattern that's important.
Right.
Type thing.
Yeah, and
So yeah, if you Google it, yeah, you'll see various.
Khaka. Cool.
Yeah.
Isn't it like my knowledge of flags is limited here, but Botswana has a bright blue flag, doesn't it? And isn't that like part of the
Yeah, it's. I wouldn't say. Yeah, it is fairly bright blue.
or yeah, it's like it's not dark blue, it's more blue.
Yeah, lightish blue. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
All right, so
lightish blue.
blues are
But there
covered.
you go, guys. See, we actually had a genuine, touching moment of cultural enrichment there on the show.
Yeah, as the descendant of Irish immigrants, I have literally zero to offer other than sharkrobot.com. Go get cool shirts. They did not pay me to say that. I just love their store. They really have all the best shit.
I'm still 100% willing to be a corporate shill. Any liquor company listening to this, any liquor or suits company willing to sponsor me, I'm 100% willing. Any tech company, I'm 100% willing to be your corporate shill.
So what you need to get into is blogging and podcasting for like men's classy lifestyle, like reviewing suits, whiskeys, scotches, cigars, shoes, like that sort of stuff. I think that's the best way forward. So last thing we need to talk about is definitely the Jeff Bezos situation, because that is like a comedy goldmine. But right before that, I just want to call out a reminder that we do have a community Discord, which is picking up every week. There's more activity.
Yes, and you can even hang out with us like 24/7, like
Yep.
in a very codependent relationship.
He doesn't mean that, but also he's not entirely wrong. So the community Discord is basically just a bunch of us, and we pretty much banter exactly like this. The links to find them are on our Twitter page, and we'll make sure that everywhere the podcast goes, that link goes as well. Be very happy to have you there. It's just, as we build this out, we're kind of finding that it's people like us, people who are open-minded, actually have a sense of humor, and are willing to admit that life can be absurd sometimes. You'd be a perfect fit.
People are surprisingly pleasant and polite on the Discord, so I expected more and more like people being more creepy or more abusive towards us, but no, not at all actually.
A lot of them don't say much, which is like, maybe we'll get the creep factor, which is cool. We'll see how we handle that.
I think it's because they're basically sitting there observing us like do more Noscript stuff, and we're like, guys, we have jobs, right?
It's like it's once a week. That's the deal. But also the great thing about it is that every now and then we do get into these long form conversations, and I do have to call out one comment in particular, and I'm not going to mention names because I'm trying not to accidentally dox people on the internet. I keep doing that. But for at least one person, our Discord chat replaced their Twitter timeline. So the quote is, "I used to scroll through my Twitter TL only to fill the daily information void with rage, now replaced with a server, and I feel alive again." That is a ringing endorsement of the bullshit we get up to.
Now replaced with a server. Are you serious?
Oh yeah. So I will actually, without outing anybody, I'll link you that. Let me just find it. So anyway, and that's kind of what we try to do, because the fact is, real life is fucking ridiculous, and this whole thing, the Noscript Show, the podcast, the Discord, is all about creating a safe refuge where common sense and humor persists.
I used to scroll daily information with rage, now replace.
Yeah. So thanks, and also that's what we do.
And also, fuck you, CBS.
Dude, I don't know. No, you
fuck you, CBS. There we go. I said it.
You're triggering my post-Radio 702 traumatic stress disorder with that shit.
My tweet actually got a lot of update on that racism and segregation. Did you see that one? I think you saw it.
I probably did, yeah.
And a lot of traffic when I was like, and here is the same set of learners while they were being rotated through the day. It even made it onto fucking Reddit. And I know this because I
Nice.
have a Reddit account, and I'm like, guys, I'm like, hey, South African here. Here's proof that the 702, the radio station, was shit when they blew this up.
Yeah. Again, like the last.
That and then the Bezos divorce, and then we're done.
So on the Schreiser Reneke thing, just an update. The school
Isn't that where Margaret van Wyk is from?
Maybe. It's a very Afrikaans sounding town. I don't know what the deal is. But just to point out the facts of the situation, the parents and the parents, the black parents, I mean, in that whole situation, they didn't mind the fact that it was an Afrikaans school and they wanted to give their kids the best possible future. The teacher did make a little bit of a screw up, but not major. The real issue was the photos that got sent out. But it escalated to the point where people were protesting at the school, so they shut the school down. Parents pulled their kids out of school, and the teacher has now left town to get away from these guys. So this one photo has blown up into like a school being shut down and all the rest. And again, like the fucking DA, some twat there tweeted like, these kids have now been traumatized for life over this incident. And I'm like, the kids were doing fine until you fuckers moved in and made it a political issue. Up until that point, it was just another day of school. You guys turned it into a shitstorm. So you own this. But anyway.
That's on you.
It's totally on them. So anyway, like that's just like fuck. And yeah. Basic rule, do not take photos of anything. Like that's just the safest way to proceed.
Unless you're a Noscript Show host. In
Yeah.
which case, do take pictures like us.
Yeah, but
Add me on Snapchat, bros.
oh my god, do you have a premium Snapchat?
I do. I'm now an ethot. No, but
Hashtag
but
thought
actually-
audit, dude. You're gonna take you down.
But in all seriousness, I am on battle.net. So if
Yeah.
you play Overwatch or Destiny or Hearthstone, no, I don't play Hearthstone, but I do play Heroes of the Storm.
Oh yeah, I'm also on Battle.net, and I absolutely want to get like a little gaming group together because I think it would be
Yeah.
badass to have like a partially gaming focused Discord. That sounds
I
like
do
fun.
play Heroes of the Storm, and I do play Overwatch, probably a bit too much. And I used to play World of Warcraft way too much. And I do play Destiny, and I'm also on Steam. I will tweet my.
Yeah, do
I
it.
guess we will. The show will tweet out my tags for each of those platforms.
Yeah,
if you
we'll
if
do
you
it.
want to if you want to join us and game with us.
'Cause-
I have no guarantees as to how good I am in each of these games, but I'm a pretty decent mercy. You can ask our show's subscribers. Shout out to Kurt's Ghost. You
believe
can
it.
ask him. I'm a pretty decent mercy.
Yeah, it's just like I definitely think 2019 now more than ever we're going to need a distraction from the bullshit, which will be the election cycle. So yes, let's do that. All right, dude. So I want to talk about the $65 billion divorce because this is like
Oh,
wild.
Bezos.
Oh, yes. Okay, there is
Okay.
so much to the story. You kick it off.
My stance, or on it, or the actual
Let's- Let's start with an overview. What is the Mackenzie Jeff Bezos situation?
Mackenzie Bezos is the greatest investor of all time. No, I'm kidding. In all seriousness, though, basically, the overview of this is that this chick was his day one. They were together for long before he had any cent of money. She
Yep.
was a good, faithful wife. She also helped a shit ton in terms of actual work for Amazon. She negotiated a bunch of deals for them.
So I don't know what the word is for being addicted to acquiring new information. I think I have that. It's not. It might be bibliophile. It's not autodidact.
I thought that's reading in general, but okay.
I guess. So I actually have a bit of the biographical backstory. Mackenzie and Jeff met in a law firm, basically as two employees. They married in 93, and Jeff started Amazon in 94, and they were together for 25 years. Now, I want to stop and focus on the point that for 25 years, these guys did not have a huge scandal, a huge blow up. The money didn't make Jeff crazy. Didn't
That's
make
pretty
Mackenzie
much
crazy.
a large chunk of everyone's lifespan right now.
Yeah.
Well, most of both of the hosts' lifespan is 25 years is a large chunk of our lifespan.
Yeah, so I mean, Jeff and Mackenzie's marriage lasted longer than everyone using TikTok right now. That's how old it is. So anyway, she was there at the beginning. You're right. She helped negotiate the first supply contract, working out of a Starbucks adjacent to a Barnes & Noble. And she was literally like faithful wife, 4 kids, 3 of their own, 1 adopted from China. And because of her support, I'm pretty convinced it was what enabled Jeff to put all his effort into building out this huge business empire. So, all of that being said, the divorce, because it didn't have a prenup, right now Jeff has a 16% stake in Amazon.
Don't let MGTOW quit to hear that.
Yeah. So 16%, and it looks like they have to split it 50-50, but no one really knows yet. It's all speculation. And in my mind, this is a success story because she stuck by him through what must have been a very difficult 25 years. I mean, the dude built Amazon. Come on, that was not easy. And they survived, and they have mutually decided to separate. With all of that said, can you please give us the worst take that we've seen? Let's talk about MGTOWs.
MGTOWs. Oh yeah, there was one tweet. I can't even bring it up on my Twitter yet. Where I think it was my Twitter senpai Marlene Yeko. She tweeted out something about somebody who's like who's some MGTOW dude who's like
with a beard. He's bald with a beard. That's all I remember from that picture.
Yes.
So while he's looking that up, just for those of you normies who aren't in the vortex like we are, MGTOW is MGTOW, men going their own way. Essentially a bunch, like, there's legitimate complaints about how divorces and marriage works in the States. Like I keep saying, Americans are weird about these things. But typically they come across as a bunch of dudes who have just the worst opinion on like women and marriage and all that sort of shit. And some of their opinions you might agree with, but some of them are just downright stupid and toxic.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's some legit things where...
There's, like, gold diggers are a thing and all the rest, but, like, this... So the one...
look, okay, the libertarian in me is like, okay, fine. If you're both a willing buyer and willing seller in that relationship where she's straight up... fucking gold digger and you're straight up I'm buying this trophy wife type thing. If you're both willing, fine, whatever. It doesn't fit in with my morality, but I don't believe in legislating my morality, so
I don't even want to, like, I remember the tweet. I don't even want to say the words. Like, it's not in me to use that language.
Like, I know it's marked explicit, but I actually, like, looking at the tweet now, I'm like, yeah, fuck that. I'm not going to...
I don't know. It's like, it's a sort of, and that's the thing. I have no problem. I have a huge thing about, like, defending language, but there are just things I don't want to say. And so...
profanity, like, it's not that there's profanity. It's just fucking shit of a take it was.
So I don't like it, but... For the sake of the people that haven't seen it, I'm going to say that his headline was, "No pussy is worth $65 billion." And it's like, the rest of it kind of talked about you have to get a prenup, but that sentence was just like, dude, you have no fucking idea about anything.
It's like...
I feel dirty now. I feel dirty for saying that.
And I was like, really? That's what it boils down to for you?
No, no, dude. I need to go look up like cute kittens now, emergency kittens or some shit, because I just that worldview, that whole way of living your life, dude. No, what the fuck? But sorry.
Yeah, but that is the worldview of a lot of the MGTOW community. Like it had its roots in a lot of in some good intentions in certain ways that men are fucking exploited in a certain way in society,
and for sure, and it's like there's some legit complaints, and like the main thing is that
if war breaks out today, guess who's going to the front lines to die?
Exactly, and there's all this sort of shit like
backbreaking labor, men.
There's that, and there's also like America is still dealing with the aftermath of the sexual revolution in the 60s, where all the kind of traditional puritanical rituals and rites were broken, and America has an identity crisis right now. Do you get married? Do you stay single? This is like constantly an issue because conservatives are like, this is undermining the traditional values of marriage and the foundation of the country. And everyone else is like, you don't have to get married to love someone and live a life with them. And so this whole thing is blowing up, and MGTOWs somehow keep finding the worst takes on this whole situation. But yes, that one in particular, I'm just like, this is like peak not understanding how life works. Dude.
Well, I can give you my take on it. Like my
Hit it.
stance on this whole thing is that she 100% deserves half. Here's the thing.
Yep.
She was his day one. She, for all intents and purposes, if bit more information surfaces, she was a good, loving, faithful wife. She was his day one. It's not like she's some lazy, like gold digger filing her fucking nails by the pool, a la Bunny from what was it? The dude in that movie. With Tara Reid, the dude.
I'm just picturing anything between Cruel Intentions and the entire Playboy Mansion. That whole vibe.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
Also, she is independently successful, and this is a thing that a lot of the media doesn't report on. The fact that on her own, not only did she help Jeff start the business and was there at the foundation, and not only did she run that household, she also is an independent, acclaimed novelist. She wrote a whole bunch of novels. You know, it's like, if she hadn't met Jeff, she would still have had a successful life because
she would still have been incredibly wealthy.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And so it's like, you add all this up, and it's like, you know what?
The dude from The Big Lebowski. That's
there we go.
Tara Reid filing her nails by the thing. She
yeah,
offers
exactly.
him oral sex for $1,000.
And it's like,
$100.
that wasn't her. And it's like,
she is the antithesis of this. She's his day one. She's this lovely, very, very loving, for all we know, qualified, talented partner in your life. Helps you build day one, and you can see you can Google before and after pics. No hate on Jeff Bezos, but Bezos, you're not a fucking good looking dude before. After, now that you've embraced the baldness, you've shaved, you clean up, cool. Whatever, you're not a good looking dude. She was out of the league.
But also, I mean, let's be honest, like 1992, Jeff Bezos was exactly who you expect to find in like a New York law firm. Like, that's exactly the look. And that was the thing. Like, she specifically described the infectious sound of his laugh. That was the thing that drew her to him in the first place. So, and the thing is, right now, all the MGTOWs and idiots, just absolute fucking idiots, are going to focus on the fact. Yeah, they're going to focus.
I agree.
They're going to focus on this as if it's like a Tiger Woods situation or something, which it's not. She married him long before they were wealthy, and like also BTW, by the fucking way, I'm pretty sure the reason that Amazon was successful, they started out by selling books, and the logic was books are something that you can look at the physical book in person, but buy the cheaper version online. And she's an author, so I'm pretty fucking sure that had something to do with it. So in my opinion, there might not have been an Amazon without her. Like, and we should not overlook the fact that she helped keep everything in the background running. So
exactly, and if you correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe there is credible evidence of infidelity on Jeff's part.
That would not surprise me. And it's like,
I believe he was cheating with some.
It's Lauren something, yeah. And it was apparently people were like very surprised to find out that was a thing. And so here's the thing, right?
So this lady's your day one. She's everything, and you go and decide to fuck somebody else. I'm sorry, dude, your dick doesn't accidentally slip into somebody else. So fuck you, Jeff, and fuck the MGTOW community. She is his day one, and maybe this is my inner right winger coming out, but I actually care about some of the 10 commandments, like thou shalt not commit adultery.
Not commit adultery.
Fuck you, Jeff.
But there's also
she deserves it. Just for even if she did nothing. If you go and cheat, fuck you. I'm sorry.
100% correct, but then the last closing fact is, and this was in their announcement, is that for the period before their actual divorce, they had actually been separated. They called it a trial separation. So I think what probably happened is that this whole thing might have been amicable. They might have reached a point where Jeff was like, look, I want something different. And it seems like it was amicable all along, because you know for a fact that she would have known if Jeff was cheating, and if she wanted to take the gold digger route, she could absolutely have outed
What
him.
triggers a trial of separation, though? Like, I
There's-
think she had suspicions that he was already cheating, and
I'm not sure of the exact logic, but there is a thing where
people can come back to this episode and correct me later, but I think what happened was she had suspicions that he was already cheating, which he may have been, and they're like trial of separation, so she can fucking figure this shit out, and yeah.
From my understanding, and again, I'm also open to be corrected, but the times I've seen this used is in couples counseling and like marriage counseling and stuff. If it feels like the marriage is coming to an end, before just going straight to divorce, sometimes they'll recommend trial separation. So for a certain period of time, you just live separately and take the time to get perspective and see whether or not this is actually what you want to do. So that might have been it. It might have been precipitated by him cheating, right? Like for sure, that could have been the scenario. But what we know is, to the end, it was an amicable separation, at least on paper. And she didn't out him. She's done nothing to damage his reputation, even if she had the cause and means to do so. And if she walks out of here with an 8% stake in Amazon, that closes the arc on a 25-year story that should be an inspirational one. Because that's, to me, that's like what that's what peak, building a life looks like. You invest the time and the effort in building a relationship and everything inside it. So yeah, and it's like I'm inspired, and of course, within about a day of the announcement, every single Jeff Bezos capitalism meme started trending again. And it's like, okay, I'm not even going to deal with that side of it. It's fine.
But we'll deal with the memes at a later point.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
All right, so I think this brings us to the end of our second Noscript Show for 2019. We're not going to be like YouTube twats and exhort you to like, share, and subscribe. That
Don't
mantra.
forget to like, share, and smash that subscribe button.
Yeah,
Yes, I
man,
finally
it's
did
like-
it. Fucking
And then also turn on the notifications so we can actually get your content. No,
turn off your notification squad, fam. I'm like, please stop doing this. Please stop doing. And I say this as somebody who unironically uses the word fam, by the way. But no, come on, man, come on. Come on.
what I will say is that we've gone to some effort to make this podcast accessible in as many places as we could. So do follow it there, if whatever your preferred platform is. And if there's a preferred platform that we're not available on, please let us know, and we'll see what we can do to make it available.
And if you hate us, you're always welcome to join the Discord server and fling abuse at us.
Oh, please do. I mean, in the last 2 weeks, I've earned the mantle of both racist and transphobe. So I'm looking forward to what you guys have in store for me next.
I also earned the mantle of trying to usurp the server from Logan while he was incapacitated for a little while. So there's that.
The last thing I'll leave you with is that I did accidentally poison myself with Doom. It's totally my fault.
Wotan uprising. It was a glorious uprising, and we will rise again. We will rise again.
I think it fits really well that in the sort of cultural landscape of North and South, you're the one using phrases like "we will rise again." Like you're such an archetypical black conservative.
I am. I'm like the token black conservative on the show. Yeah.
Dude, you might be one of like 20 people in South Africa with your point of view. You do realize that.
Pretty much. Yeah.
All right. That is all from us this week. Please be
Thanks
in
so
touch.
much for tuning in, guys.
Yeah, and keep well.